This Scream 7 movie review is sponsored by Decaf Coffee.
Today, Junior?
Yeah, that checks out. And with that, I want to say welcome home, movie lovers. It's your boy Rossi J, aka Urso, back at it for your latest 2026 movie review. You read it in the title of this video. I'm going to be reviewing Scream 7, but a couple quick orders of business before delving into the film. If you're new checking your boy out, I want to say welcome home. Whether you're a movie fanatic like myself or you're simply wanting to know whether a movie's worth checking out or not, you got a friend in me. My mission is to keep the spark of cinema alive and celebrate it with everyone that's along for the ride. And it all starts when you hit like, comment, and subscribe. Second of which, if you like this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you gave your boy a follow on all of my social media platforms. And it's also important to note that this is going to be a spoiler-free review of Scream 7, so you are safe if you have not watched this film. Now, what on earth is this movie about? Let me tell you. When a new Ghostface killer shows up in the quiet town where Sydney has built a completely new life, her worst fears come true when her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, she's forced to confront the past she thought she left behind and stop the killings once and for all. That is going to be the cookie cutter premise of Scream 7. If you had the chance to check this film out, drop a comment and let me know your thoughts. Spoiler free, of course. We don't want to be ruining it for the other people that haven't watched it. And I guess another thing to talk about before actually talking about the film itself is a little bit of the drama behind the scenes and how awkwardly, I should say, Scream 6 to 7 truly is. Melissa Barrera, the lead star of 5 and 6, is not in this one. She left on ugly terms. No, this is not going to be a hot-headed or super biased movie review. I am talking about the movie that I watched and judging it by its own merits. Of course, you gotta also look at that this film had like $500,000 worth of rewrites because initially it was Melissa Barrera's third film and she was gonna get a trilogy arc. And to give you guys my 2 cents, Samantha Carpenter was the best part about Scream 5 and 6. I'm as disappointed that we didn't get to see that fleshed out as the person next to me. So going into this one, I was a little skeptical. I was nervous, and after seeing that first trailer drop back around Halloween time, I was not sold by it. I just thought it was a cheap fix of nostalgia and course correction. In a lot of ways, it was giving me the Rise of Skywalker vibes because you have The Last Jedi that just did a bunch of deconstructing of what we grew to love about Star Wars, and Rise of Skywalker was doing damage control. With Scream 7, that's exactly the movie that we got here. Now, cutting right to the chase, as much as it pains me to say this, Scream 7 pretty much win in one year and out the other. Like I said in the opening segment of my review, it was basically like sipping a cup of decaf coffee. It tasted all the same going down, but this time it was lacking the kick. But before I get into all the shortcomings of this movie, a couple positives that I do want to acknowledge for this film. Number one, there are a couple of refreshing kills that are going to stick with all of us that have grown to love this franchise. And the second thing to talk about here that I actually really enjoyed to see on the screen, being a diehard Michael Myers fan, this Ghostface reminded me a lot of Michael Myers. There are a couple cases throughout the film where Kevin Williamson frames Ghostface in the background and you can kind of just see him. He's out of focus, but you can see the white silhouette of his mask and he was coming in and out of frame, almost like a ghostly figure. I really wish that the film would have committed to more unique ideas to make it morph its own DNA. But I will say, the other thing outside of what I just mentioned, Kevin Williamson also crafts multiple drawn out chase sequences that are quite suspenseful. A lot of that is anchored on Neve Campbell and Isabel May's shoulders. I went with one of my homies, Jordan, and I went and turned my shoulder and he was leaning up in his movie seat. That's how you know the movie has hooked you. And I really wish that the film in its entirety had that feeling, but I can't lie, guys. Outside some cool kills and a unique Ghostface, the way he's presented on screen, and a couple suspenseful chases, I'm leaving very disappointed. For starters, this story here I found to be incredibly disjointed. And what I mean by this is the characters had a bunch of different side quests going on, and there really wasn't that sense of connective tissue inside the plot. Of course, all the Scream movies bleed the same. There's a Ghostface out there and you're trying to uncover who that person is. But because the film has these characters on their own separate tasks, there really wasn't that chemistry that bled through the screen. And Sydney is doing her own thing on this location, and then her daughter's over here, and Gail is over here, and these guys are... So you guys get the point, and that's a part of the fun just as much as the kills and the suspense are. You want to enjoy the characters and you want to enjoy the story attached to the horror fun. But maybe the biggest disappointment, at least in my eyes, is the meta commentary that these films have been built around. It's what has morphed their DNA, and what has made them stand the test of time is nowhere to be found. That, my friends, was the biggest letdown for me. A part of me was like, well, he's proven in the past that he's able to write a very sharp script, but is this really a Kevin Williamson film? Now, outside the core dynamic between mother and daughter, that is the driving force of the narrative, the rest of the characters and their involvement in the story were forgettable and pretty much disposable. Like, I couldn't tell you anyone's names or a redeeming quality about them. They kind of just were there to fill up the space in the room. Like, that's how plain and vanilla they felt. Speaking of importance, and a big thing that every Scream movie needs to get down is the Ghostface reveal. And by the time we got there, I kind of just was like, all right, whatever. That's not how you're supposed to be feeling in a Scream movie. Taking everything into account, you guys, before I give you guys my final score, I'll say this isn't a bad movie. It's a baseline popcorn slasher horror movie. It entertains you enough. It doesn't do anything more to move the needle. And then when you have such an elite batting average like the rest of this franchise has, when you have a movie that has all these shortcomings or places that it trips up at that hold it back from its fullest potential, that's frustrating. It's time for my final verdict of Scream 7. Drum rolls, please. I'm going to be giving Scream 7 a... Ba-bam, ba-bam, and that's going to do it for this episode of Rossi Reviews. Before I sign off, where did I get it right? Where did I get it wrong? Be sure to leave your comment, and I will love to keep this discussion going. I just want to say thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy days to check out this movie review. Be on the lookout. In the coming days, I'm going to be dropping my updated Scream franchise ranking. You're going to want to see that. It's going to be a big video for this channel. But as always, keep on enjoying the movies one scene at a time. It's your boy Ross Urso, over, out, and cut.